Welcome to Glasgow Apollo Live with Scott and Andy.
I've got a big smile on my face.
Okay.
Haven't even had a drink yet. Good evening and welcome to Glasgow Apollo Live with me, Scott MacArthur.
And me, Andy Muir.
Well, welcome
Live.
to the show that never ends. What's it doing over there? Are you sun shining at 6 o'clock in the morning?
The sunshine has just arrived. The sun is up. How come we've already got 100 messages? That's ridiculous.
Oh, there's things happening already. It's looking I have to say, it's looking like it's working this week.
Right, okay.
So, anyway, thanks for everybody who tuned in last week for the Billy Connolly Fest. I'm sorry that we couldn't do the show. I was in Prego in Carluke, which is an Italian restaurant, with Mummy and Daddy moaning about there's too many mushrooms in this. This isn't Scottish mushrooms. You get the
mushroom
vibe.
Risotto? Mushroom risotto.
It was mushroom risotto. So that was fun. And then I drove
It's too
back.
creamy. This carbonara is too creamy.
Exactly.
Right.
He did that once. I think I told you this before. We once went to. I used to live up in Elgin, and I took them up to Inverness for something to eat, and it was another Italian restaurant. My dad came out and he went, "Christine, that's my mum. That wasn't a Scottish lasagna." Anyway, how have you been? Are you all right?
Been all right.
Good. I missed you last week, mate. It was quite weird. But
well, it was weird, like watching it. Oh no, I didn't watch it because it was on too early for me.
Oh, little diddums. But
Yeah.
I ended up with a gruesome twosome on the Zoom as well. Can you guess who?
Oh,
yeah.
Ah,
The stalker and Lord Frost and me.
Right.
And I wasn't drunk, so it was really interesting. Anyway, everybody, welcome to the show.
Who fell asleep first?
I left.
Right.
I did leave them on. I did leave them on. So welcome to the show the night before the Jambos give the Hibbies a good kicking again tomorrow. Can't wait. I shouldn't really say that in this show. It's very divisive football. Did you see Glasgow Rangers last night, by the way?
I saw the...
I don't like Glasgow Rangers, but I'll tell you what, they were absolutely, utterly brilliant last night, mate.
They were good against 9 men. Brilliant.
Oh, that was in the last wee while. Get a grip.
Okay, mate. Right.
Aye, they were brilliant.
I'm just saying they were brilliant.
And I hate them. I can't stand them. But God, you've got to say they were good. They were brilliant. So what have you been listening to this week?
Oh, heaps of stuff.
65 shows in. Cannot be anything spontaneous.
Oh, I'm trying to think. It's 6:30 in the morning, mate.
Well, I've been listening to...
Let me finish.
I was listening
to...
we will now have silence for the next 10 minutes while Andy remembers what day of the week it is.
A band called Wet Leg.
Wet Leg.
Yes, the kids love them. You don't know about them, but it's a very good band from the Isle of Wight.
Posted something about that. I think you posted something on Facebook's about that.
No,
did you not?
Not this week. Yeah, but good band.
Who am I thinking of? Who was that blues guy? Way back.
Wet Leg.
No, played the who was it?
Muddy Waters.
No, the one with the stupid
That's
name. I know. But there was the one with a stupid name. What was his name?
Willie.
Something Willie. Is it
Boxcar?
No.
Boxcar Willie.
Wet Willie. It was Wet Willie. It was Wet Willie, wasn't it?
They weren't a blues band, were they?
Well, I have no idea.
Yeah. Right.
Wet Leg. Excellent.
Wet Leg. For the love of God, that's even worse than Tool. Come on, Fiona.
Who said
it's
that?
It's a real band.
Fiona. Who said that? Fiona.
I think she's talking about the name. I think she's talking about the name.
Yes. Right, so you've been listening to Dribbly Leg, and who else? Is that it?
Oh.
Chewing guy died, didn't he? The punk guy.
Yeah, I listened to a few. Chris Bailey. Yeah, good.
What were they called again?
They were called The Saints.
The Saints, yeah, I remember listening to bits of those.
Your speakers are up too loud because I'm getting echo here, mate.
Are you?
Oh. Aye.
This is my newfangled thing, ding dong here. I need to turn it down then.
Get it set for echo cancellation on it.
It is.
On here. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But it's a bit annoying.
All right, okay. Well,
I've got
so
these in.
if you're new to the show, and we're delighted that we get new people nearly every week, please stick your name and where you're tuning in from into the chat. And if your name comes up like Boots, who's been on the show for about 40 weeks and he still hasn't got his name coming up, all you do is go to the top of the Facebook group. You'll see the wee note that I put out earlier tonight, and it tells you the little code you need to click 3 times, and your name will magically appear.
I just looked back at what I was listening to. A band called the Georgia Thunderbolts.
Oh,
very good.
You sent me a letter. That was good.
And Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs.
The Dirty Knobs.
That's the name of the band.
Fiona, you and I need to talk. This is getting silly.
Mike Campbell was in the Heartbreakers.
Oh, right, okay.
Of Tom Petty, and a band called Black Top Mojo, which are quite good, very good indeed.
What sort of Southern Boogie or mixture?
Black Top Mojo are from Texas, and they have a wee bit of country rock, but it's more
country rock. That's what I thought when I listened to them.
That's the Georgia Thunderbolts.
Ah, right.
They're good. They're very good. They're all very good.
Well, I was listening to the Pretty Reckless.
Yep.
Because they've just done some gigs, and bloody hell, that lassie can sing. And last night I put Sparks on because you lot were all talking about going to the gig at the Barlands.
Yeah.
Don't get it.
He's a good singer still.
Don't get it.
Mate, you can't get everything.
No, obviously. I know. But I'm trying. And I'm trying to expand my horizons. As I said in that thing I posted again this week, you know, I'm out with my tribe now, and I'm trying my best. Sparks, nah, that's sort of Boots music, you know. It's not. It's not for me. Anyway, so tonight we've got something different tonight, which is quite good. I'm not going to tell you what it is. We've got an absolute classic to end the show, and it is right at the end because they might kick us off. There's a clue. See if you can guess who it is. Sorry?
It's Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
No.
I would like to hear a recording of that gig, you know.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a recording of that gig. There isn't one in Rescued Recordings. But anyway, so we're doing that, and we're going to have a wee chat about an artifact that's been set in that I thought was really cool. And all the usual things that you've got used to over the last 65 weeks. 65 weeks, Mr. Neil. Come on. Before I do that, just want to say hello to people. Hello, Fiona. We've already said hello to you, Fiona. Hi, Doug. How you doing? We've got hi, Scott, Andy, and good music lovers. Hello, John's in. Hello, John McCallum. Good to see you, John. Nice to see you again. Cheryl's here, fresh from the Sparks gig. Can tell us about it later. Ricky's in. Good evening, Scott. Good morning, Andy. Hello, everyone. I was in Sydney meeting Andy. Oh, I know who that is. You can tell us about that in a minute or two, mate. Kenny's in. Hello, Kenny. Kenny Brown. Evening, music lovers. Thanks for the text, Kenny. I'll come back to that later. Fiona, Andy, you definitely suit the beard. Don't do any more shaving. Oh, feedback on the look. There you go.
Thank you. My style guide.
There you go. That's all you need.
It's coming off.
Dave Wilson. More mayhem, please, guys. I think we started the way we continue. Good evening, the two Carluckians. The Carluckians is like a cool kind of Ray Bradbury vibe, isn't it? The Carluckians go to Mars. Yeah, I quite like the idea of that. That'd be quite good.
Carluke.
And Fiona's saying wet leg for the love of God. That's even worse than Tool. I think you read that before. Yeah. Ken Brown, let's talk about music, Scott, instead of slagging off my team. Who's your team? You hippie? You're not a hippie, are you, Kenny? Oh, fantastic. I hope you are. That'd be great. Blah, 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 blah. Oh my, truly, Scott, the Sparks gig was excellent. I'm going to keep going. I will keep going, Cheryl. I met somebody from Cumbernauld. I'll come back to that later. I think I've got the chat working, Kenny Brown. You have. It's working fine. Right, we're okay. We're okay. Thank you very much. So this week, mate, what happened at the Glasgow Apollo this week in history?
This week in history. Right. Okay. The Bee Gees, Dave D. Dozy That's not. They weren't the Bee Gees. That was Barry Normal, Barry Gibb,
Dear.
Barry some Bee Gees. Dave D, Dozy, Beaky, Making Titch. Great, supported by Grapefruit. They played the Apollo. It was Greens. Man, that's annoying.
1968.
1968. I'm gonna have to take these out. I can't hear.
Is it that bad?
Yeah. Mott the Hoople, Hackensack, Max Wall. They played Wednesday. It's too difficult, mate. April the 12th, 1972. That was.
How come Max Small supporting Mott the Hoople?
I don't know. Maybe they just thought he was a good laugh. I wasn't really. I was a bit scared of Maxwell when I saw him on the telly.
So was that. So was that. Yeah.
Jesus. But I did listen to Mott the Hoople album. It's very good. Brilliant album.
They're one of these bands, I've said it before, I'd never really quite get into them.
Well, get into them, mate. They were quite good.
Oh, I know I should, but I just never have really get into them. It's
What was the one album I listened to? It was excellent. Oh, I can't find it. Can you turn your speaker down a bit, mate?
Sorry?
Could you turn your speaker down?
I don't think I can. It's right down, Andy.
Oh.
It's right down almost as low as it can go.
Right.
Is that bad?
Right then. Yeah.
You turn your own down as well, because that meant it bounces.
Okay. I don't know how it's going to do that. But anyway, let's carry on. But that was a good album. I listened to that one. Hawkwind, Monday, April the 9th, 1973, 49 years ago.
Jeez.
For the Hawkwind folk, that would be a belter. It was all the young dudes, actually, I listened to. Captain Beefheart and the Magic Band, supported by Beckett, Friday, April the 13th, 1973. They were doing an album called Clear Spot, and you should have a listen to that, because it's pretty good.
Is it? Okay.
It's normal. It's a good entry point for Captain Beefheart. It's not too bonkers, so it's very good. It was produced by Ted Templeman of, you don't know, Van Halen. And
you shouldn't answer the question. She's let the glorious public answer these questions.
I was asking you.
And I'm not answering your questions. I'll get them all wrong.
Yes. Okay. Ella Fitzgerald, she played April the 11th, 1974. I think I talked about this last year, but anyway, good gig, no doubt. Glen Campbell, he played 2 gigs this day, as these country folk were of a mind to, because they had lots of tickets to sell. April the 15th, 1977. And I got a ticket from, I forgot your name. Anyway, I forgot your name. quality coverage here we got here. Linda Young, I think. And she gave me a ticket, so that was good for the website. Rory Gallagher and Joe O'Donnell, April the 9th, 1978. Also, I listened to Rory Gallagher this week. Very good.
Fantastic.
He's very good. Blueprint I listened to. Great album. And I didn't listen to Joe, but I think he was something to do with Rory Gallagher at some point. He might have been in the band at one point. Television, The Only Ones. They played April the 11th, 1978. I listened to those fellas. Television, all right. That album is called Adventure. They were touring.
But they are okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all right. It did remind me a lot of bands from Glasgow. I don't know. The Orange Juice. Kind of. There's a bit of Orange Juice in there. A bit of Simple Minds, I think. Maybe. Probably not.
A lot of their fans were like sort of Suicide and that Talking Heads, and I know they don't sound the same, but the fans were. I remember a lot of the fans been into that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Post-punk.
Punk.
Punk. It's punk because it's 1978. New wave. That's the word I'm looking for.
That's the one.
Chris Christopherson and Rita Coolidge. They played April the 13th, 1978, Thursday night. I saw some good comments on it about this, but there's a few what do you call it? Opposing comments. Is that right? Word I'm looking for? Different comments. Like one guy said it was a brilliant show, and another lady said she felt sorry for Rita Coolidge because she had to hold up Chris Christopherson because he was blutered.
Oh.
Yeah. And there's did you see that wee comment where someone said that in the middle of the concert, he said, "Night, night, Casey," and his daughter got up, and a nanny got up from somewhere in the middle of the concert hall, went off to bed, took her off to bed. It's cute.
It's quite interesting because a lot of people wished they'd gone to that gig. Seen a few comments and folks saying,
yeah.
It'd be
Well,
definitely
I did listen to some of that too.
Yeah.
Not my cup of tea. But he's a good songwriter. You know.
Yeah, brilliant.
Carol Perkins and Bo Diddley. I'm not sure if this was like a co-headliner or not, but probably should have been. But I did watch a wee bit of Carol Perkins last night. What a nutcase singing Blue Suede Shoes. Good on him. It's his song right enough, but you know, very good guitarist. And they were supported by Matchbox of that song that I've mentioned. Do you remember that song?
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but I remember you mentioning it.
I was going.
This is quality pre-production.
Never heard it for 40 years, mate, and it just went. All right, I know all the words. I'm a rockabilly rebel from head to toe. I don't know if you remember it. Gotta keep it rocking. Anyway, doesn't matter. I knew all the words, sadly. Thin Lizzy, and they're still going, by the way. They're still touring. Yeah, big. They're quite big in Europe, in the rock and roll circuit.
There you go.
Yeah. You know, the rock and roll revival.
Yes.
It was a rock and roll revival in the 70s.
Yes, exactly. And it's still going.
It's still going. Yeah. It's longer than the rock and roll
period.
Yeah.
A lot longer.
Thin Lizzy and the Vipers played Thin Lizzy played 2 nights, Saturday, April the 14th and April the 15th. This was a gig that I would have loved to have gone to see if I'd known about Thin Lizzy at the time. I was only a young pup. Probably sitting in my room listening to the Police going, "Oh, Sting, you're a good singer." But knew nothing about Thin Lizzy. But yeah, I'd listened to Rescued recording of that gig last night, yesterday. Excellent, brilliant band. I love them. Amazing. They do when they do the baby bit.
Yeah.
And my baby drives me crazy. It's so funny, you know, because he just goes for ages in the crowd to go, "All right, okay, we'll have a go." Yeah. No, they go, "We'll have a go." No. Anyway, it was a good gig, and it's available on YouTube. If you look up Thin Lizzy, Glasgow Apollo, 1979, you'll find it. I think it's the first night that's on YouTube. Sammy Hagar and Riot played Friday, April the 11th, 1980. I think this is the gig that was on Radio Clyde. I'm probably wrong, but I know that it was recorded. The Osmonds.
Hold on, there's some pictures that Kenny Brown sent us them in just tonight of Riot. That night.
Cool.
Probably never been seen, Kenny.
Brilliant. So, and you can tell it's Glasgow.
Can you? Oh, because of the bus.
The bus.
Yeah. Nice haircuts.
Hey, mate, that's a rocking haircut from 1982. 1980. Yeah. The Osmonds cranked out the hits, if you can call them hits. They had plenty of hits. 1980. What is that? I didn't know that was you bought Long Haired Lover from Liverpool. Was your first
that was, but I never bought it. No.
Oh, yeah,
I was given it by the parentals.
Why?
I don't know. I must have liked it. I've still got it somewhere.
All right.
I think I've got it down in the depths in the dungeon.
Down in the dungeon. Yeah, well, there's only one really good song that I like of theirs is Crazy Horses.
Crazy Horses.
Because it's a rock song.
Good song.
It's a brilliant song. And that'd have been a great gig for the hopefully thousands of people that went to see them. Blackfoot and Samson played Friday, April the 9th, excuse me, 1982. I'm doing a
I wish
t-shirt
I'd
for
been
that,
at that.
so that'll be. Yeah, I wish I was there. Yeah.
Not so keen on Samson, but Blackfoot are just off the scale good.
Yeah,
Live.
yeah. So I'm not sure if the masses could tell me if that was when Bruce was still. No, it wouldn't have been. It would have been.
Could have been, mate. Yeah,
Was he still there?
Thundersticks, isn't it?
Thundersticks. Yes, and Joan Armatrading played April the 14th, 1983, 39 years ago. Well done, Joan.
Grief.
But
Incredible.
yeah, that go back to the Blackfoot gig. I wish I'd gone to that. Well, 1982. Oh, I was probably listening to Blackfoot then. Or
I saw him at the Playhouse in Edinburgh. I had my slippers on that night. You know, it was one of those nights.
right.
All the
Right. All the old folks.
All the Edinburghers.
Yeah, I watched I thought I'd look up Edinburgh Playhouse for something to do the other day, and
New website coming soon.
no way, and enough to do with this one, but it was very interesting because they had it was 90. I think it was in 2018. It was 90 years old. It was the anniversary of the 90th thing, and it would have been. I was just thinking, oh man, imagine if the Apollo had actually survived, because it was. They were saying like they were the biggest cinema and all that. I was like, hey, hold on.
No.
Hey,
It's funny. The place is a funny place, isn't it? Because it
looked really nice.
Sorry?
It looked really nice.
It's lovely inside, yeah.
Yeah.
But, it did all the gigs and stuff, but then they stopped and they did a lot of shows.
Yeah. Well, it said they nearly shut down a few years ago.
I remember
someone
that.
Bought it.
Really?
Yeah, a property developer bought it, but the local people, the local folks, got it listed as a got it should have been a listed building anyway, but so they couldn't knock it down and build an office block.
Well, they knocked the bit next to it, behind it. They kept the face. There was an old church beside it at one point, and they knocked the back end. Remember? But I mean, I must have went to about 40 odd gigs at the Playhouse, and including AC/DC and even Quo before they changed. And I don't remember it ever. Thunder were good. I remember they got the place going.
Oh yeah.
But
Extreme as well. I saw Extreme.
They were good. But I don't really remember the atmosphere being. It was all a bit like a sort of Chris Rea concert. That sort of.
Was it a bit refined? Was it a bit refined for you? It was too refined for you.
Well, it was, but you could have a drink, so it was quite weird that it didn't ever. I mean, I went to see quite a lot of proper bands there, but never. I mean, there was. I mean, I saw the Scorpions there; they were quite good. I saw Hot Wind Air; they were very loud. Couldn't hear a bloody thing. They were too loud. But it was never the same sort of place.
All right, let's have a look at the charts here.
Just what I'm doing. So Cheryl's saying Ella Fitzgerald wouldn't have gone at the time. In retrospect, my loss. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I think we're all finding that the more we all think about it. I mean, there are still some exceptions, but most bands, I wish it, a bit like the Professor, who's been to so many of the gigs that aren't even the gigs that he would normally go to, and I wish I'd done that. But the simple truth for me, Cheryl, is I didn't have the money. Couldn't have done it. Yeah. But and Cheryl also says, I wish I'd seen Rory. Me too. Never saw Rory. Never saw him.
Yeah.
And I never really liked him. Didn't like his voice. And it was only, remember that book that somebody wrote, mate, and they asked us to help them. Was it a video or a book? I can't remember the Apollo website.
It was a DVD.
It was a DVD. I watched that. I've got it somewhere downstairs, and I really liked that. So again, I was very, very late. I was very late to Rory Gallagher's music. Pete's saying he went to see Jim Kerr last night at the Hydro, and he looked drunk.
Oh, I did. I listened to it. Oh, sorry, Pete. This is Pete on YouTube. I listened to a podcast this week with a good podcast, the Rock on Tours podcast. And
you like that, don't you?
Yeah. Well, it's good because they talk to musicians and they're musicians. Yeah. And Jim Kerr was on it, and he he does mention the Apollo, and he mentions that he went. I think he went. Goes, what? Because he's changed his accent a fair
Is he?
bit. Yeah.
Ah,
I don't know where he lives. He lives in Cyprus. Oh, Sicily. And
what's that podcast called again? Sorry.
Rock on Tours.
Oh, I've got it. Yeah, I just want to put a picture
And,
on so folk.
yeah. So if you go and have a listen to that, it's good. And he talks about the Apollo a wee bit, and he says, he goes, "Oh mate, it was went to see Genesis, and they are two, because it's Gary Kemp from Spandau Ballet and a guy called Guy Pratt who's in Pink Floyd, and you wouldn't think it, but Gary Kemp's a massive prog fan. He loves lots of prog.
The best of us are. The best of us are.
Yeah, and yeah, it's good. It's good. Have a listen to it. There's lots. There's got like 100 or something, so it's great.
Who's the Guy Pratt again?
Guy Pratt. Oh, he plays bass on every record you probably.
Session musician. Good position.
Session musician, but he's the bass player for Pink Floyd.
Ah, right.
He was, and he's played on two of the most highest selling songs ever.
Really?
Yeah, Michael Jackson's Earth song played songs, and Madonna Like a Prayer. He's the bass player in both of those. Yeah, it's good. Get his book. His book is excellent, called My Bass and Other Animals.
Oh, I've got it. I've got the audio version. I haven't listened to it yet. You mentioned that to me before. I haven't listened to it yet.
Though. It's good. Anyway, sorry, we're digressing.
Ricky's saying my mate's older brother's sister's auntie's cousin worked on the Apollo Road crew and struck up a friendship with Chris Christopherson and Rita. He had a life-size poster signed by both of them on his bedroom wall. Might have been him who got Christopherson pished.
Oh, maybe. I don't think he took much persuading at the time to take a drink.
I think he could take a drink, that boy. Yeah. And Facebook user saying, great gig by Blackfoot. Yeah, absolutely. And got my program signed and met the guys after the show. I'm really jealous. Yeah.
But Kenny Brown, come on. I know Guy Pratt's dad was in Randall and Hobkirk, but which one was he? And he says, but boys, are you too young to remember? Yes, I remember Randall and Hobkirk.
I remember Randall and Hobkirk on repeat on a Saturday morning, 20 years after his first broadcast.
Loved it. And I loved the way Portishead used that as their model for their sounds. They did. Come on, they did.
We've got Scott and Jimmy Osmond, fan at figures. Yeah, I know. Jimmy progressed to the Hammond organ and eventually played a Moog. You know, he was a bit of a progger. Right.
I remember being in when I was living in Townhead, and I had
Townhead, is that a Sunday name?
Townhead, sorry, Townhead. Townhead. Sorry, it was for the non-Glasgow people, and it's just up the road from the Apollo, actually, or down the road. It's near the Apollo, and I was in the lift coming down the stairs, featured on Still Game, those lifts, and I remember I had long hair, and I had flowers embroidered in my jeans for some reason. I don't know what my mum was thinking, and I heard this woman behind me going, "Oh, it's wee Jimmy, it's wee Jimmy Osmond." No, it must have been about 8.
Did you burst into song, mate?
You could use a song. Use a song.
Kenny's saying storming gig by Blackfoot, not a great reception for Samson. Yeah,
no.
You listen in the Bruce Dickinson's autobiography, which is one of the shallowest biographies I've ever read. He actually says it at the end of the biography. This was a shallow biography deliberately, and I'm going to do my full life story another time. It really is shallow, almost as bad as Sammy Hagar's, which is just crap. Anyway, and he said that Samson just kind of churned out the songs really, really quickly, but he believed that underneath them all they had some good songs, but just never quite did it right. So I think there was a few issues with alcohol and other substances. Right. But what's this here? Kenny, I think. Yeah, Kenny Brown saying Blackfoot drummer died of brain hemorrhage a few years ago. Yeah, actually, Blackfoot now are still going, but with no original members. They're like a, you know, Kiss talked about doing this, continuing the brand.
Yeah.
Alice Cooper did the same thing, and there is actually a new Blackfoot, and Ricky Medlock turns up every now and again, but my God, they're rubbish.
Right.
I mean, the boy can sing, but oh dear.
I watched a thing last night talking about bands going on after they should, you know, like a franchise thing. And
Yes.
This might be a worry to yourself here. I was watching a guy who plays guitar in Whitesnake, Joe Hykstra, I think his name is. Now, right, and he was on this cruise. There was a rock cruise last month or something, and they had this guy singing with them.
Right.
And I thought, oh, he sounds good. He sounds like David Coverdale. He's in Whitesnake. This guy.
Oh,
as a backup singer.
That's not a surprise.
Is he covering up for this guy? Is he doing a wee bit of? I know Dave's brilliant, but you know, is he gonna do a brand franchise?
Wouldn't surprise
with
me.
With this guy singing, don't know.
Wouldn't surprise me.
He sounds very much like him. It's good.
Do you know? I think I've been unfair on a lot of these guys, because if you sing particularly the way Coverdale sang for 40, 50 years, you're bound to get your voice fucked up in the end, aren't you? I love the guy, but I remember going to see them on the Slip of the Toe tour, or whatever the hell it was called, and Gordon Bennett. It was like they'd gone from being a sort of quite a.
You would have saw them slip of the tongue.
That's what I said.
Was it? Oh, right, okay.
And
I get confused. Slide it in, slip of the tongue.
Oh, they're all the same. Innuendo, crap, carry on lyrics. So I became a Rush fan. You know, think about it. Rush were singing about Xanadu and X minus one or whatever, and they were singing about sliding it in, and you know,
whatever makes you the money, mate.
Well, that's what he says. That's what he says. But I don't know. I'm not particularly against it. I mean, I think some of the cover bands are better than the bands, like Australian Pink Floyd are incredible, and you know the Genesis crowd, is it Matchbox they're called? They're really good. So yeah. Ricky's saying he only got to Playhouse the once, and it was Scorpions, mate. Yeah, I was there. It was that was good. Everything. What's this? Everything was going digital, so it was weird. Analog's on its way back though, Pete. Big time. Let me see what else. I don't want to miss anybody, because there's lots of comments tonight.
Is that Bon Scott saying he's going to see Whitesnake?
Is he? Oh, he's going to. And is it Foreigner's Journey or something, or Journey's Foreigner's Rio Speed Love Pistol or something? I don't know. I get all confused by all these bands now. But I'm sure it'll be a good show. They'll have plenty of tapes. I mean, it's like Kiss. You go see Kiss now, and he hardly sings a word. You know, it's all tapes, and it's great. It's a great show. It's brilliant. Yeah. So as long as you don't expect it to be as out of tune as it was back in the 80s, it's actually going to be in tune now.
I saw a little
stands in the tape.
A little clip of Bon Jovi this week.
Oh, aye. No.
It's not. Honestly, it was. I listened to about 10 seconds of it and thought, mate, you should just
stop. Yeah, he
was
good these days though. I enjoyed him back in the first album. Great first album.
That's right. Dino Jelusic. He's brilliant. He's a brilliant singer. Well done, Alan Baxter. Right, okay. Alan Baxter. Yeah. Talking about that, because I met Alan and went for a coffee with Alan a week ago. Was it a week? Maybe a couple. Was it a week? Feels like a week or two. Maybe it was last week. It was last week. What week is it? Tuesday. We had a cup of tea, cup of coffee. Had a wee walk over the Harbour Bridge. Walk around the sites down there.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it was good. Good to catch up with him.
That was amazing, because I didn't know you were meeting each other, and it was brilliant when I saw the pictures. That was excellent.
Yeah,
absolutely excellent.
Pretty good. It was good fun.
That's what this is all about. And we've got wait a minute, what's this? Look, Pete. Tony Hadley's new album sucked. Well, of course it did. Get a grip, mate. What are you doing?
Well, he might have just been having, 1 week ago. Yeah, Alan says 1 week ago. It feels like a long time because I got a bit of a bug in the week, so I was all over the place, mate.
Wasn't
Wasn't
well.
he well? Wasn't it the COVIDs though? Related to the COVIDs, but it wasn't the COVIDs.
Wasn't it the COVIDs? Right, hold on. Is there? That's quite good from Kenny. Like, is there anybody who hasn't played guitar in Whitesnake? They've got a woman in the band.
Yeah, a woman bass player,
and
Irish.
She's bloody brilliant. Have you heard her?
Yeah.
Jesus, wet.
Yeah, I've seen it.
It's a bit Bomber Hodgkinson, you know.
What's his name? Colin Bomber Hodgkinson.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
that's why he got the. Probably why he got the bomber.
Barry's here. Evening, everyone. Just after a few swallows, oh dear, we're going to be getting Slade songs tonight, everybody. I was at Blackfoot in Edinburgh the next night. There you go. Yeah, bet it wasn't as good, but God, there's millions of comments here, mate. Help me out here, would you?
Oh well, there's Fiona saying a week ago tonight she was having a reef day. Oh my God, what a day!
Oh, did you meet them, Fiona? You said you were going to stalk them.
This is a band called Reef.
Reef, yes.
With the massive beards.
As I was saying, Australian Pink Floyd, amazing, closest I will get to seeing the real thing. Do you know, I so regret that I never went to see Pink Floyd. I've seen Roger Waters, I've seen Dave Gilmour.
Yeah.
Never seen them together. And I went to see The Wall at the O2 in London, which is... And unfortunately, I went with my mother half, who doesn't like prog music, and it was like, but it was good. I would love to have seen it.
Well.
Could have done. Never mind.
Could have done, but could have, should have, would have. He didn't.
So it's Shitesnake, Forganer in Europe. Well, Europe are still brilliant.
They are good.
They're a great live band. They should be the headliner of that three. In terms of live capability, because the foreigner guy's quite good, isn't he? What's his name?
Kenny something.
He's a good singer, the boy.
He's a good singer. He's a bit of a. He's way different from Lou Gramm, though. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I saw them. When did I see them? I saw them.
Sorry, just got
the last time. I saw them at the Roundhouse.
That's a great venue. Great venue.
With Europe.
Yes.
Supporting.
I remember you going to that.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. That was good. I got tickets for free for some reason.
And
it was good. I came down to see you.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Is that the time you got beaten up?
No. That was way.
All right, okay. Bon Jovi are known as Bon Jovi in my house. Dave Wilson.
Dave Wilson. Come on. Shocking.
Excellent. I think you're pretty right, mate. I've got a friend who's an absolute fanatic, and she just bought a new car. Right, she's a salesperson for one of the cruise companies, the holiday cruises, and she just bought this big fancy motor. Mike, you're on tonight. One of the girls we used to work with, Mike, and she just bought it, and her number plate is Bon Jovi. Not quite. It's kind of slightly odd, but it is. But she's a fanatic. Weird. Anyway. But
I thought you were going to say she couldn't get a new car because her CDs wouldn't fit in
it. Pete saying I survived every Pink Floyd album. Yeah, no. Barry, I was at Two Walls at Earl's Court. Were you, Barry? Brilliant. Oh, I'm very, very jealous. Right, so we've kind of caught up. There's too many comments. That's brilliant. There's so many comments. Thank you very much, everybody. We'll try. If we've missed any, we'll try and come back to them. Right, dude. We're going to do something different before we do the socials,
right?
And the reason is my voice is about to go, and I need to get a cup of tea. So we've actually got, for the first time, we're going to play an interview, not that we've done, but one that was done back in the day. And some of you will be aware of, most of you will be aware of the good work over at Rescued Recordings. And this week he put a Robert Plant, Jack put a Robert Plant gig up. And it's it's actually quite a good fan recording of the show. But appended to it was an interview with Mr. Plant. And it's actually recorded backstage at the Glasgow Apollo. And it's by our very own Tom Russell. So this is Robert Plant, and been interviewed by Tom behind the stage at the Glasgow Apollo. I really like the vibe of this. I hope you like it. And I know not everybody listens to all these sort of things. It's only 10 minutes, but we hope you enjoy it. I listened to it earlier, and the recording's okay quality. It's not terrific, but it's good enough. Let's have a chat about this after this, Andy. All right?
Returned to the UK by opening his tour at the Apollo. An excellent show it was too. I managed to have a quick chat with Robert backstage at the Apollo just a few minutes before he faced the audience. Well, we'll hear what he had to say after this track from Principle of Moments, Other Arms. Well, we're backstage at the Apollo, and sitting in front of me a man who's about to go on stage, first time in front of a UK audience in 3-4 years. Robert Plant.
Yeah, 1979. Good evening. Hello. Nice to be back again. Well, you probably know because you've spoken to me before. Within the last 2.5 years, I always wanted to play a provincial tour of Britain. I mean, it's like there's an element of all this, apart from success, that compels you to play and to do and to be, just like pantomime and theatre and a general touring vibe, if you like. It's part and parcel, the whole adrenaline thing, and the idea of Nebworth was very mighty, and it proved 1,000,000 points if there was anything to prove. But it's not so exciting as knowing that tonight's Glasgow and tomorrow night's Edinburgh. Yeah?
Are you nervous tonight?
I'm not sure. I purposely went to America to warm up for the British Isles this time, because there's always such a big fuss about preparing yourself for America, going to Iceland or Denmark or whatever it is to get ready for the hordes. Well, I reckon you're as good as you are on the night. You can have bad nights, you can have good nights, but you're never going to be desperately bad, you know, so you might as well just get on with it. No point in considering whether you're nervous or not. Within 10 minutes you're okay, whatever happens.
And how did it go over in the States?
Extremely successful. Really good. I mean, some nights we broke box office records, which is like fantastic. And other nights it was 3/4 full and nobody complained. The audience had been told and had it rammed down their throats there was no Zeppelin material, so what we got was an audience who came only to listen to what I wanted to do now, you know. I mean, as much as I'm very proud of the past, as I said to you before, I don't consider it my password anymore, you know. So in America I thought I was going to get all sorts of stick, you know, lots of shouting and careering, but the audience had changed. The audience had listened and they'd realised that there was a definite tactical, intentional change in the music, and they came because of that, you know. And they also respected the fact that without Bonzo and Jimmy and Jonesy, just because I'm the singer, I shouldn't go on and do Black Dog and Celebration Days. It's like joining a group and doing, being in one group, joining another one, and doing the hits from the two bands. And there's a lot of that about now, you know.
Ready?
Without being bitchy, yeah.
Not too many people calling out for the old classics in the States too?
None.
Not a one?
Not one. We had people going around the building checking it out and listening. The audience had changed. As the music has changed, yeah, the age group was quite dramatically different from 14 to 40. But women were returning to the concerts, and they were pretty women, and they were well dressed, and they weren't frightened of the massive hoarding, sort of bombarding fury that used to be. So the music had achieved its point there, and it remains to be seen whether it has or not here, you know. I mean, it's still pretty intense and pretty dynamic and dramatic at times, but I've intentionally cleaned up certain parts of it. And let's face it, there's that many bands around who have got a dirty, edgy, far more sexual, macho sound. But it's nothing new, you know. I remember that in 1969, and I think A Whole Lot of Love really summed all that whole thing up. So every time I see somebody with armbands on with studs sticking out and all that sort of thing, I yawn a little bit, you know.
Seen it all before?
A little bit, yeah.
Big Log, top 10 single. How surprised were you with that?
I was thrilled and obviously really surprised. Again, following the same intention and principle, I argued with the record company, especially in America, and said it's got to be the single. And they were saying, Other Arms, In the Mood, anything but that, you know. That would be their last choice because it was so characteristically not me. But you've got to be pretty short. You've got to have pretty short vision if you think. What I wanted to do was to get through to a woman in Perth who was washing up, or a guy in Argyle who was fixing his nets. You know, I mean, what I wanted to do was to say, look, I'm not in a pigeonhole. I'm not I don't come out when the moon's bright and go to bed when the sun comes up and all that stuff. I sing songs and I write songs, and this is one aspect of my writing, just like the Rain song was, you know, and just like All My Love was. It's just as relevant in a way. It's a love song. It's very personal. It has its ambiguities. It has its dual meanings and all that sort of thing. And it actually went out to people who would never have dreamed of listening to the material that I've been associated with before. It's a renaissance for me, the whole thing is. It's great.
It was also played on daytime radio, which possibly the old Zeppelin material would never have been before.
Never, no. And what it's done, really, I mean, I remember when I came up here and Burning Down One Side was the single. It was a little harsh for daytime radio, because people obviously do their homework, radio stations like your own, check on what people listen to, what time of day. They don't want to be offended, you know. And without doing a Barry Manilow, which is not my intention, I'm not here to sell records, I'm here to prove my point. That was, without compromising my art, or whatever you want to call it, that was the best way of proving that you can teach an old dog new tricks, you know, and the old dog can teach everybody else a little bit.
Hi, I'm Tom Russell, and this is Glasgow Apollo Live.
Glasgow, the first night of the UK tour. Any significance in this, or was it just the way it worked out?
It's what I wanted. I wanted to start here.
Why?
I don't know, because I've been here a couple of times actually, even since I met you, and snuck around the city quietly.
You were spotted in Argyle Street.
That's right, yeah. It's a funny place to be in it. And I really liked the place. I liked the people I met. I found it a very warm town, and I also liked the way that everybody else shuddered at the idea of Glasgow. Glasgow, oh no. Glasgow's great. It's a great town. Very hip, very aware, very sensitive. And it has its fair share of rock and roll. And what I'm doing is just another part of that, covering all the rock and roll. I wanted to start here and work down, if you like.
Well, that was to do with the two-step. That particular track is full of meaning. Can you tell us what that was written about? It sounds a very personal song.
Well, yeah, I guess they all are. I mean, they are usually right from first-hand experience, but sometimes when I observe things, I take it from the third person singular, like he or she were doing this, and I turn it into me and them, you know. So it makes it personal. When you read books, I enjoy reading books where the guy who's written it is actually, he's involved in the whole thing, you know, rather than being an observer. And so some of the things mean something to me and some of them don't. But I always write in the first person singular. I should think about changing it really, otherwise everybody does think that everything I sing about has got something to do with me. But it's a nice song, and it is, through with the two-step and all that sort of cutting it close. I'm just getting down to the nitty-gritty now. I'm a working man and really cutting out all the bullshit, basically. That's really what it means.
The band that you have on stage tonight and for the whole of the UK tour, slightly different from what you had in the States.
Only by one member. Phil Collins has gone on to, I received a singing telegram from him a minute ago. He's in Canada, and Richie Hayward from Little Feet's with us tonight.
I admired her as she came up the stairs, your singing telegram.
Yeah, she wasn't that bad, was she? Must be cold walking around Glasgow looking like that.
Richie was with Little Feet.
Mm-hmm. Little Feet, Ry Cooder and Joan Armour Trading. So he's got a good track record.
And the rest of the band is
as was in America. Robbie Blunt on guitar, Jez Woodruff keyboards, Paul Martinez bass, and Bob Mayo on guitar and keyboards.
Now tonight's show, you're going to do, obviously, the two solo LPs. Mm-hmm. Any other material that you'll be doing that perhaps hasn't come onto vinyl yet?
Well, no, we've got other stuff that we can do, but I think it's the wrong mood for what we're doing right now. I mean, if we do another tour next year, then I want to do another couple of singles first to open the door to the different stuff that I've done. But I think the way that the stuff expands on stage, the new material now, although it's only drawn from 2 LPs, imagine if I was starting all over again and I hadn't got 13 or 14 records to my credit, or to whatever it is, then I would have to make do with 2 albums of material. So it is reasonably colourful. You know, I mean, we can get by with it.
No support act tonight?
No, well, we play for over 2 hours. And I think, really, after all this time, I wouldn't like to get agitated if the support act was playing a little too long, or if the crowd was eager to get them off and get us on, or anything like that. It just makes it a bit too twitchy. And backstage before a gig, as you can see, he's minorly twitchy as it is, you know.
How far advanced is album number 3?
Well, I suppose that there's enough stuff to make half an album already. But I want to start fresh and do all sorts of different material again. So I'm going to Australia and Japan after Christmas, and Hong Kong and Thailand playing. And then we're all going to sit down and write when we get back and see what our travels have given us idea-wise.
Do you find it difficult to write whilst on the road?
It's very, very hard in the middle of all this, it being my first English tour, British tour, Scotland and Wales included, to sit down with a guitar. And besides that, I don't really think that way of writing is very expansive now. I mean, things like Reckless Love and Stranger Here Than Over There, and Through With a Two-Step, if you like, can't be written in a hotel room. You know, you need a certain atmosphere, a certain mood, a certain temperament to do it. And from midday until 2 o'clock tomorrow is not the time to do it, you know?
Well, that was Robert Plant.
That was very high-pitched Tom Russell.
It was.
Hello there, how are you, Robert?
We had mixed response to that. Boots said, "What a prick." He did come across as a bit of a knob, actually, at the beginning.
Well, I don't know.
It was a 35-year-old Bob Plant.
Well, just a youngster, isn't he?
Just a boy. I don't know. You hear bands doing that, don't you? When they move on, you know, we only sold 100 million albums with that wee rock and roll combo. I'm now playing some East Asian, you know, jazz mixed with African Congo drums and a touch of the Cuban maracas. And it's much more interesting than anything we did with that old rock combo, you know.
I quite liked it when he said he was, you know, he does get a bit bored with studded wristbands.
I get that as well, but I don't know.
I was just thinking, who's he talking about? Black Sabbath or Glen or Whitesnake or Deep Purple?
All of the above.
All of the above. And I liked it. He had a funny wee quote. He said, "We get lots of pretty women now."
Aye.
And they're well dressed.
And they're well dressed. Yeah, very nice, Robert. Well done.
Yeah.
It's good though.
He just got ugly men who were badly dressed before.
Yes. Well, I wish I'd been to a Zeppelin concert. Oh, I missed it by 4 years. Oh. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, folks. I did enjoy it. It's very interesting. You hear him talking now, and he's got his own podcast now, and he's very good. I mean, he's really good.
His podcast about the songs.
And funny enough, he talks about Zeppelin all the time, not about his solo work with his top 10 single, Big Log.
His last album with
Alison Krauss.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I agree. I think a lot of his solo work I could never get into. There was too, I think Pete said fusiony. You know, I just thought, well, yeah. But
no, I like all this work.
I know you said before, but I prefer it when he but when he's working with her, my God, their voices go well together, don't they? Absolutely brilliant. So
Ricky says he can kiss my studded wristband.
Well said, Ricky. Well said. Right. No, so if you enjoyed it, let us know. I see a few folk have already said they enjoyed it. Thank you. I
thought it was good.
If we can find some more, I'm going to have a word with Jack and the guys over at Rescue Recordings and see if they've got some more. I think there might even be. I think Tom Russell plays them on the Max, doesn't he? He repeats some of his interviews.
Well,
so
we'd be cutting his grass if we took one of his stuff. He's
not going to mind us taking it. He's probably watching right now. Tom, tell him.
Get him
tell. Anyway, so well done. So that's just a wee new thing.
Cheryl, he can kiss whatever he wants of mine.
Cheryl. No, that's unacceptable. Never catch a modern man like me and Andy doing something like that. So, are you ready? Who sang "Are You Ready"? Was that Samson? Mammoth? Are you
Samson
ready?
Mammoth?
It
Mammoth?
doesn't matter. Right.
Yeah.
What's been happening in the socials this week?
Well, we've got 6,326 active members. Thank you.
How many?
Each 6,326 active members this week.
Brilliant.
It says there's 32 posts. I thought there was more than that.
So
Felt
did
like
I.
more.
Yeah.
There was 719 comments and 1,869 reactions. It just also says 385 posted and commented, so I don't know what that means. But there's 20,000 people viewed over the week, and we had 17 people joined. Thank you very much for joining. I booted out about 100.
There was quite a lot of activity from Japan, I noticed, and from Thailand.
Subcontinent.
Yes.
For some reason. And they just posting a video. I'm like, no.
Why
would I don't know. I don't know. It's just I don't know if it's a bot or whatever. But there's lots of people joining, and I'm like, no. See, mate.
Yes, indeed.
Sorry. I don't need to know what they did. You'll be shocked at what she did. No, I won't, because I'm not even watching it.
I've done it all before. Yeah. But no, it's always nice when we get new people coming in. It's great.
And they should, and I think someone put their, as they do, posted their tickets up.
They did. Yes. Yeah. Fantastic.
Good. I love it. Yeah. It's good. And yeah, I had a good time reading the things. Great. There's not one I could pick out, but you'll probably tell me and I'll go, oh yeah, I like that one.
No, there was a few. I mean, I think the professor posted, as usual, a lot of posters of different outfits that were playing. There was one crowd, it was a pop band. What were they called? Cheek or Chip or Chum or Chong or something. And the headline, and I posted, who the hell are they? And apparently they were a one-hit wonder.
Oh yeah.
But I can't remember what they were called. But no, it was. I mean, I think the most of the stuff this week, there was an awful lot. I mean, I've reposted one of my stories and it was brilliant. I mean, thanks everybody for.
I've reposted one of my stories and it was brilliant.
And not my story. The response to the story.
Oh mate, come on.
He's a pennant.
I'm a spelling pendant.
Oh dear. Yeah, a t-shirt pendant. But honest to God. And but it was good. It was lovely, and I really do appreciate it. So what's folks saying here? Here's check out Alison Krause's recording with of Beatles. I will, if you haven't already. Made the hairs on the back of my neck. I haven't heard that. Have you heard that?
No.
She is amazing. She's got a hell of a voice, great, yeah. Beautiful voice, and there's a real resonance with her and Posh Boy.
Here's Pete says, I used to shop in Tom's record shop next to the French bakery. Cakes and music, a killer combo. Oh, okay. Nice one.
Oh, James
Digging Deep. Yeah, Digging Deep is excellent. Yeah.
Oh, what's going on here? Hold on.
James says, I saw that Grapefruit played in the Apollo. Great sounding band. Only 2 albums in the late 60s. I thought you were going to...
I thought you'd
do some kind of
fruit. James. I thought you'd a time machine or something, gone back to the gigs.
So he's going to do some fruit-based joke.
Well, they will come. They will come. Any minute now, they will come. Well, I'll tell you, there was one thing. There's some weird stuff going on my laptop. There's definitely some gremlins again. It's not dropping out this week, which is good. It shouldn't do because I had the whole bloody thing reinstalled. But there was one thing I really liked, and I won't play the intro bit, but somebody, did you see this? Kenny Connor posted it.
Yeah, I did see that.
It was excellent. I love that. Yeah. Apparently he was cleaning his mum's house out, and he found this from the 1983 Maiden tour. We were there, weren't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember, I was thinking, I was thinking, man, you must be very forgetful if you have to have your own your own name on your sweatband.
Look how clean it is, though.
I know. It looks like he's never put it on, never even had it on in the privacy of his own house.
Yes.
It's been hidden for what?
50 years.
40 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
39 years.
yeah. I suspect there's somebody that tunes into this group might be very keen to buy that off you, Kenny, if you're interested in selling it.
Well, they might even have Dave Murray's DNA on it.
It might. Hey, we could clone Dave Murray.
Oh dear, one's enough.
Make him handsome when he comes back.
Oh no, we've got a wee bit of a
there a Barney
going on here. Memo to Cheryl. Big Bob, pardon? Big Bob will not be kissing anything diamond studded about you.
Oh, excellent. I like that.
Right,
Excellent. Yeah. Right, children, keep it personal. So, other things. Now, I just wanted to remind you, you're listening to Glasgow Apollo Live with me, Scott MacArthur.
And me, Andy Muir.
And we're going to play some music in a minute or two, but I just wanted to remind everybody of a few things that are happening. We're getting together on the 17th of June. We 2 more tickets flew out this week, Andy. So Brilliant. We're creeping gradually towards being sold out, which is terrific. I'm sure we will sell out in the night. So if you want to come, folks, www.glasgowapollo.com/tickets, and it'll take you straight to the Eventbrite site, and it's dead easy to pick them up then. I'm actually going to go and see the people at Lauders week after next to confirm the arrangements with food and all the rest of it. So I'll let you know as soon as I know. But they asked us to put it up. They were busy, so they asked me not to bother them until April. So here we are in April. I'm going to bother them. The other things that have been happening, Andy's been making t-shirts, haven't you, mate? You've done some nice ones. And as always, he put the link in the Facebook group earlier today. If you appreciate you buying all these things. That's amazing.
I love it. And if you can't, that's fine. And if you feel like you don't want to, that's fine.
Yeah.
Give some money to people in Ukraine.
Absolutely. And the other thing that happened this week was a whole lot of folk gave us some money on Ko-fi. So thank you very much. That was brilliant. Really appreciate it. It pays for the software. It does occasionally pay for a glass of beer, but it's mainly to buy software and bits and pieces for the show. So we really appreciate it.
Hosting for the website.
Hosting the website, etc., etc. So that stuff all costs money.
And
this is expensive, actually. God, I forgot how bloody expensive it was, mate. Anyway, but no, thank you. We really do appreciate it. And just a quick, as always, I just want to say thank you to the guys at Rescue Recordings. We've mentioned them already. Jack, I've forgotten. Jack, Phil, and what's the other guy's name? Steve. I've forgotten Jack. I'm sorry. But thank you, guys. Absolutely amazing job. This week was great when you included that little interview. We do appreciate it. And their membership in their Facebook group is really growing. And if you want to get a list, there's over 300 recordings on there now. You just contact Jack. He'll send you a sort of introduction, a link to join.
Yeah,
and then you'll get access to the spreadsheet that's got all the gigs on it, and it's mind blowing how many there is. I think the oldest one's from the 40s or something.
Yes,
one old big band recording, and then right up to 1985.
I think is it Joe Lewis?
Something like that, mate. Yeah, so it's really quite fantastic, and we absolutely recommend them to everybody to go and have a wee look. Just to check the chat before we put this music on because it might kick us out. I'll just put that on the screen. Yeah. Don't know what it's about, but it's on the screen. Pete, what are you talking about? I must have missed something.
I don't know what he's talking about.
No idea.
I don't know.
Right. So we're going to play some music. This is a risk, dude.
Is it? Okay.
What? It's a bit like a rescued recording. Right. So hopefully it'll be all right. But this is a gig that Andy and I were at, and it was amazing. And I decided to play this just because I wanted to annoy Boots. No, I didn't. No, I wanted to. I just hadn't listened to them myself for a wee while. And, I went through all the songs that they've done, the 57 songs with the first singer and over 100 with the second singer. And I thought, nah, I'm going to do one that everybody knows. And I was watching the new film the other night. I don't know if you've seen it yet. Is it Metal Gods or Metal, whatever it's called? About the kids in
Metal Lords.
Metal Lords. And it's okay. It's not School of Rock, mate. It kind of doesn't. It's a bit. It's okay. think it's okay. I quite enjoyed it. It's a kind of kids film with bad language, if you know what I mean. And it finished really quite abruptly. But I like the girl in it. She's brilliant when she does the bit of bass playing at the end, and the gig is pretty good actually. She's brilliant. But yeah, it's okay. I recommend watching it. I mean, if you like rock music, I wouldn't bother if it was you, Boots. There's a song that's more than 2 minutes long for a start, so it'll probably hurt your ears.
Oh, come on.
But no, it was. But I was in a kind of rock and roll mood, and I thought, you know what, we're just going to have some AC/DC. Not apologising for it. That sounded like Tom Russell to me.
You think?
It sounded like him.
It sounded excellent.
That was
really
magic.
Good sound.
Yeah.
Hard
the
song.
It's hard to sing, isn't it? Aye, but
Even
see
if
that
it is your song.
the air horn at the end in the crowd.
Yeah.
I don't remember hearing that.
Yep.
But
I was thinking, oh,
that was an amazing night. That, but both nights brilliant. I liked Tommy saying Brian wore his Scotland beanie hat on stage the second night.
yeah.
Excellent.
Oh yeah,
But,
I think Tommy Bone posted some pictures of that. I think.
Aye.
Yeah.
But I remember. I mean, it's just obviously a childish memory, but I remember I couldn't believe the AC/DC were playing in Glasgow. Couldn't believe it, and I couldn't believe I had
I
the
couldn't
ticket.
believe it was standing in front of me.
Aye, and you know, you get the tickets, and then you're like, going to see AC. How can we possibly go and see it? And of course, at that time, you thought that was it. You didn't get any bigger than that because it was like Donington or Reading after that, but that was it. And then they have all these horrendous. Sorry if I know some folk like them, but I'm really not keen on the arena gigs. And they jumped that, didn't they? They did a very brief arena thing and then just went to stadiums. And I don't think any band, not even Queen, were any good in stadiums. You know, I
don't know. Wembley was quite good.
Oh, it was good, mate. And
Queen at Wembley.
It was good.
That's a good gig.
It's good, but you know, if you're up the back, it's not so good. You know, and
depends on how
personal taste. Personal taste. I mean, I used to go to a lot of these big gigs, and I stopped now because I'd rather go and see bands. And he says go to see Tool in 2 weeks at the cattle shed up the road in Birmingham. So, but anyway, we hope you enjoyed that. That was brilliant. That's only the second time I think we've played them. Actually, I think we played Hell's Bells back in the 10th show or something. So we haven't exactly peppered the shows with that, but maybe we should. And of course, if you play the Bon Scott stuff, they just cut you off. It just poof. Remember the last time we tried it? It just completely cut us off.
All right.
But so, as always, after the show, we're going to get together on Zoom, www.glasgowapollo.com/Zoom, for a cup of tea and a cream cake, discussing up-to-date political and scientific issues.
Cream cake?
Yeah.
A scone. It'd be a scone, surely.
A scone.
A scone.
That was a shocking thing I discovered once. You know, I always thought it was scone, and it isn't. It's scone. I was devastated when I heard that was the right way to say it. So scone is actually not correct. Not good. I don't agree with the correct. It's a bloody scone, yeah. And I just thought of black pudding for some reason. Anyway, my head's all over the place. I need a drink, and I do. I've got some wine.
You may be thinking of a fried breakfast with some fried potatoes.
Yes.
Potato scone.
I smuggle out. I mean, I was up, as you know, a lot of you. I was up in Scotland last week working in Dumfries, and I sneaked back to the Carluckian area, and I went to Ramsay's, which it is that Ramsay, his family's butcher, and the black pudding. Oh, it's sublime. I feel like I'm taking contraband. You know, like something like a brick of dope down to Ingerland with me every time I come back over the border with my black pudding, and then I lay it out and put it in my freezer and have it. Oh, I just love the stuff.
Here's John McCalman saying, "Great show as ever, guys. I wish I'd kept the interviews I did at Radio Clyde. You would have had George Harrison, John Anderson, Graham Nash, Patrick Moraz, Pilot, and is Andy coming to Scotland at any time? No, not anytime soon.
I hope that Andy and I can do a show together, but it'll be when I'm in Australia rather than when he's here, I suspect.
Yeah.
We have beginnings of plans, mate, to get there.
And Ricky says scones at Loaders. I don't know if there'll be scones at Loaders.
That's not a bad plan, dude.
Yeah, but then you'll have the debate: is it cream first, jam first, jam cream? You know, it's going to.
Have you seen? John's talking about John Anderson. John Anderson has turned into this very nice man. I don't know if you've seen what he's been doing of late. He's doing all this sort of School of Rock type stuff.
Have not.
He's 77 years old.
Right.
And he is doing these tours at the moment of little small venues with kids and getting them up playing instruments. And the man's voice is still there. Absolutely amazing. 77 years old. Absolutely brilliant.
Oh, sorry, Cheryl. Sorry, it's a tatty scone. You're quite right.
It's a tatty scone.
Sorry.
I can get
my
tatty
bad.
scones. They actually sell tatty scones in the posh shops I have down here.
Yeah. Sorry, I interrupted you about the John Anderson.
Oh, I was talking nonsense anyway, mate. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how many gigs is he doing? Is that a
Loads of
European?
them. There's a lot of them on the YouTubes, and he sort of teaches them how to play roundabout and stuff. And you
What's
think,
it called?
oh, I don't know, mate. But it's been. I've noticed it a few times. It must be probably a Rick Beato meme gets you onto, or algorithm gets you onto that. So.
Okay.
And Mr. Beato was good this week. If you haven't listened to Rick Beato, folks, and you really are into music and you like the twiddly bits, Rick Beato's YouTube channel. Wow, what a channel! He did Xanadu this week, last week. Did you see that? And he couldn't get through it because he kept stopping it because he was like every 10 seconds. Oh, I need to talk about this. Then no, I need to talk. No, I need to. And he just kept. It took him about an hour to play the whole of Xanadu. That's by Rush, if you don't know.
I just saw him. I caught a wee glimpse of him interviewing John Schofield.
Aye, very good. Yeah. Very, very good. Anyway, so hopefully you can join us over in Zoom. Thanks for all your comments. I think that's been the most we've had in ages. Thank you very much. And we will be back next week. Now, we won't be on, just forewarn, on the 29th because I will be in a field in Kerry listening to a Polish Bon Scott band influenced by a Hungarian Bon Scott band and a Ukrainian singer or something like that. It's quite mad, some of the bands that are playing at Bonfest. And I know there's quite a few folk going. I'll post something on the Facebook group. Maybe we could meet up and have a pint and you can meet my brother. And he talks even more shite than I do. So,
well, he has to keep up with you, mate.
He's got to keep up. But it'd be so cool to see some of you.
He'll learn from the best.
Somebody's asking me, am I going to go and see Primus? I have a funny relationship with Primus. One minute I think they're rubbish, and in the next minute I think they're great. I don't know. It's like it's that band in America called Fish as well. They're the same. Technically amazing, and Primus do a brilliant version of Tom Sawyer, Rush song. But I don't know. I might go and see them. I bought tickets for Pretty Reckless and somebody else who I can't remember, some blues thing. But anyway, hopefully see you on Zoom. Are you going to join us tonight on Zoom, mate? Are you washing your hair?
Yeah, I've already done that, mate.
Oh, sorry. I know you're much more professional than I am.
Anyway,
week. Thanks very much for tuning in to Glasgow Apollo Live with me, Scott MacArthur, and him, Andy Muir. See you next week.
I don't even get one sign off. Jeez.
No, I know. I just decided to do it. Dude. You get to sing us out. Come on.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Come on. Gee.